Well, a very good afternoon. Welcome back to Rupolding. Day 3 of the races here. A 5-day week for the athletes, and the women back in action today. Their sprint 1.5 kilometres due off in just under 10-11 minutes time. The Swiss fans are here, the Norwegians, the French. This is a very popular venue. Almost 15,000 fans buying tickets today. I must say, Mike, although they had 5,000 less than Oberhof, they made about twice the noise.
Yeah, absolutely. They're passionate, and they're spreading further around the track than traditionally. Normally they're mostly in the stadium area, but they're out on the main hills now as well.
Well, here's the programme for the weekend. The women's sprint obviously due off any moment now. The men's going off at the same time tomorrow. And then on Sunday, both pursuits will take place. The women's starting at 11:30. We'll be on air at 11:15. And you can see the times for the men's pursuit on Sunday afternoon. Well, we've got all that to look forward to. Stands are packed as usual, Mike. I must say I was delighted to see so many fans out on the tracks yesterday. This lady will have plenty of supporters. Lou Jean-Monod, the leader of the World Cup standings at the moment, but that lead cut to 50 points. Oberhof wasn't brilliant, Mike, but she avoided a disaster.
She did, and I must say, I didn't think she looked her best, her sparkiest 2 days ago in the relay, so I wonder if the fatigue. She did say she was tired in Oberhof with the sort of slow conditions there, but hopefully she'll be back to best today.
Yeah, it's a tough programme, isn't it? What have they done? 10 individual races. They've done 4 relays since the start of the season, which was the 2nd of December. And, of course, all the sort of selection races they've had to do as well. It's a big ask for all these athletes. Very few get through the whole season without getting tired. That may be the secret. Get those jelly babies in there. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed.
My word,
not 1 or 2, Mike. That was 2 or 3 handfuls of them.
Oh, that's a sugar hit straight away. Well, she's not starting till 1 minute past the hour, 1 minute past 3 local time, but I'm surprised to see that.
Well, the general rule, I thought, was wait until you've been racing for 10 minutes before you throw the sugar in, because otherwise you feel awful after about 5 minutes of racing. But maybe that's been her key this year. And Shirkaida, brilliant, 3rd place in the overall World Cup standings. She won. Maybe it's a bit too much to say she won the relay for Norway, but she played the key role.
She played an incredible role, and brutally focused, and on a mission to pull back 11 seconds on the last leg was quite incredible. I think Minkinen today, here she is, Patrick, she's just looked solid all season. Well, one blip, she had one poor performance, was it in Annecy when she was down in the 50s?
Yeah. Were it not for that, she would be probably be leading the sprint standing. She's in 2nd place at the moment, Minkinen. Jean-Monod heading that table as well with 236 points.
Jean-Marc Elvira won the sprint in Oberhof. Anna and Anna Karin made it into the top 10. What can we expect from your team today?
Aujourd'hui, on a des chances. On vise le podium, bien sûr. Mais on sait aussi qu'à Rupolding, on n'a pas le droit à l'erreur.
Podium today with someone in the team, but Jean-Marc saying that they know here in Rupolding you have to hit all the targets, you have to be 100%.
How do you evaluate today's conditions?
Les conditions sont parfaites. C'est l'environnement, il y a le soleil sur les montagnes.
Says you got the sun on the mountains. There's no wind in the range. The public are fantastic. Yeah.
merci.
He says there is nothing better. It's perfect, and it is just about, Mike. You know, for a long time, Rupollding has suffered, and I had a look down. You know, over the years, it's not uncommon for Rupollding to be missed out altogether because there isn't any snow. But it's been a good winter. They've had a little bit of sunshine. There hasn't really been any wind. I know you would prefer that there was a little breeze.
I would actually. I mean, but you know, we had that issue, the wind issue, a little in Annecy, certainly in Östersund, and then last weekend, of course, in Oberhof, it wasn't easy. But here, it's such a perfect range, very shaded, sheltered from the hill at the back and the side walls. I think we'll see 20 to 22 of these biathletes hitting all of the targets today.
Vera and Vitozzi, the two top Italians, and obviously a lot of rivalry between the two of them. I think it's a bit more friendly than it used to be in previous years, but they're both vying for Italy's #1 spot at the moment. Vera is ahead in the World Cup standings, which is a little bit surprising. Vera on 7, Vitozzi on 9, and there's still some 91 points between the two of them, but Vitozzi has missed more races than Vera has, and the Italians, of course, you know, really solid relay.
It was a great relay, and you know, for Dorothea Vera in picture, you know, for her to have lifted her game so much throughout the summer months, incredibly focused all summer, and you can feel her focus now. Every day she's entirely at the races, entirely on point, and chasing the gold in what, 22 days' time.
Yeah, so they've spent many years, Mike, what, 5-6 years they've known about the Olympics in Italy, and they've been focused on that ever since, but suddenly it is just around the corner, and they've just got to hope that the form they've been showing over the last couple of the weeks lasts for another month or so. Julia Simon, on the other hand, is hoping that her form comes up as it has been over the last couple of weeks. It's coming up and up and up, and she's starting to look very dangerous. Knotten for Norway. Can't beat a bit of Neil Diamond at the start of a race.
Knotten was trying to get Julie Simon to get engaged with it, to start a bit of dancing, but a shake of the head. No. I'm focused on zeroing my weapon. I like the camera shots here, Patrick. It's a good insight to the head weight, the cheek weight, and then the eye central to the rear side. Well, we can't see it there because of the eye blinder, as it's called, but full head weight on the side of the rifle, on the cheek piece.
Brazar Boucher, big day for her. Of course, won the world title last year in Lenzerheide, missed one in the prone, but she was skiing phenomenally well at that stage. Tannheimer for Germany. What do you think, Mike?
I really feel good about Tannheimer today. This, you know, 3 years ago they brought her here as, what, a 17-year-old. She straight away felt comfortable in World Cup racing. We haven't seen, you know, we haven't maybe seen the expectations. She has had a 5th position, but I think she's coming into her best ever shape, so I really expect something from Tannheimer today.
Yeah, and the crowd will be expecting something of number 24, Franziska Preuss. Silver medal at the World Championships, just behind Brazar Boucher, so she's a contender, but Preuss for me is not skiing at her best quite yet, and when she's on point with the shooting, Mike, she's better than anyone else, I think, or certainly a match.
Well, you know, but
the best in terms of accuracy.
I'm totally with you, but it was way out of character what happened in the relay, 2 days ago, and she was still always smiling and happy afterwards, but to put herself on the penalty loop with 3 spare rounds standing in the vital part of the race, it really was out of character. .56 really masters the rifle, prone and standing, so Voigt probably will shoot the perfect 10 today, no problem. Saying that, actually, Patrick, the wind seems to have rippled a little during the zeroing of the rifle, so it's slight breeze left and right, variable.
Yeah. little bit right to left. Lanes 1, 2 and 3 probably the easiest at the moment. Knotten, part of that relay team for Norway that took the victory, and two of the best relays we've seen for many a year here in Rupollding. And it begs the question, Mike, would it be better for all courses to be a little bit easier so that competitors stayed?
Yeah, I think what we've seen the last, well, certainly 2 days ago in the relays, so tight, so close, and the men and the women's race allowing this course profile, allowing the smaller nations to survive longer in with the fastest.
In come the long line of volunteers who do such a good job here in the Shemgau Arena. Year after year they come back, very familiar faces, and they know lots of the athletes really well, so it's a nice atmosphere created, and there are plenty of fans who are return customers, not just for a couple of years but a couple of decades. They keep coming, and that's always a measure of how good the show is that is put on. And Rupollding, Mike, it's a pleasant town to spend the evening, plenty of places to eat, and you know, it's quite close proximity to where lots of the athletes are.
It is, and you pass the athletes' hotels on the way, the walk back down with the riverside or the stream side down into the village, as most of the spectators do. Probably call into a couple of the watering holes along the way.
Well, let's have a look at the start list. We'll flick through that as quick as we can. Again, the first of the seed groups, the second seeded group starts at number 15, and the A seeds at number 40. Camille Benet is going to be the first away. So Hettik Vals could do the season for her.
Schlettermarks there for Greenland, and ahead of her, you may have noticed, for her first ever start, De Bish. She's racing for Denmark. She has raced for Norway as a junior, winning medals, so she is a good biathlete, but this is her first ever World Cup race. Jean Monod, 44 there, quite early on in the red group. It goes all the way down to bib 68. Julia Simon, definitely coming back into her best shape, and Auchan Michelon, she's trying to establish herself securely as the top 4 for the individual races at the Olympics as well as the relay, but she's pretty well pinned on as a relay member. She's been so successful. Oberg sisters, I was going to say brothers, Oberg sisters, 66 and 68. Will that put them off? Probably not. They've been in that scenario before. Zingerli in for Italy. She has been in and out of the races, coming into form at the most important part of the season, really, at leading into an Olympic Games, and especially if you're Italian. These results every single day are being looked at, monitored, and you are being assessed all of the time. Shauna Pendry there, 98. She's always in the last group, the last part of the race, from 105 starters coming up very soon. Well, it's not just the German fans. You can see the multi-flags there, the French, Ukraine, saw Ukraine, and many other nations trackside, and in this important and this very atmospheric stadium that you feel as a biathlete when you're shooting on this range. You can feel these spectators almost breathing on you. It's beginning to be quite normal to see the dance routine. So, a very warm welcome if you've just joined us. The athletes, there are the skis lined up. They have to put the skis in this stand 30 minutes prior to the start time for the ski tests, just to make sure there's no fluorocarbons being put on the base of the ski, as it used to happen regularly in the old days. Dorothea Vera and all the athletes just taking on a snack or a such little refreshment prior to the race, or an energy boost. So the first of the starters from 105 is Leah Meyer from Switzerland. Her sprint competition so far this season, a 55th, a 26th and a 40th. And she'll get the race underway.
7.5 kilometres, remember, and there's Meyer having her best season. Now she's into the ukulele, which is quite common nowadays, and paragliding. I'm not sure the coach will be so pleased about the paragliding.
High risk. The coaches don't even like football games played competitively because of, well, prevention of injuries.
Yeah. Katerina Abakamova for Korea, funded by the Koreans. I wonder, Mike, ever since she transferred from Russia to Korea, it's been a pretty much a downward spiral, hasn't it?
It has a little. I mean, she does come good at the majors, World Championships and at the Olympics. Has done well, especially in the distance race, the 15-kilometre.
Susan Kulm from Tallinn in Estonia, the World Championships going there next year to Otepää. That'll be a first, and it'll be fascinating.
And you know, I think it has, and for Susan Kulm as well, she's having her personal best results this season. The World Championships coming to Estonia next year, I think it really has lifted the team, and the men's relay, 5th yesterday, was outstanding.
Now, Inka Hämäläinen had a really good sprint in Oberhof, finished 16th, and then dropped all the way down to 54th in the pursuit. That will not have been a very nice experience. She only missed 4. I don't know whether there were any other issues out on the track, but she'll be looking to get into the top 20 again, which she proved she can do. And that's interesting, Mike. Not a bad drill.
I love it. It focuses your mind on something else, and it gets your timing. Your brain just focuses entirely into subject.
Hannah Ockenthaler for Italy played an important role in Italy's second place in the relay just a couple of days ago. She took the first leg. I was really impressed with what she did, so I'll be fascinated to see how it goes today.
Ockenthaler, her warm-up, I watched her doing her carrying out her warm-up. It was dynamic, it was brutal, and she's having that sparky start, so I think she's on for a good result today. It's an unusual start, Patrick, to, 40, 50 metres flat, then up around a little omega, and then you get this gentle section here before you then start climbing up over the bridge to come.
Yeah, what would be your tactic? Take the flat section hard, or just gradually bring the pulse rate up to race pace?
Yes, you've got 900 metres now. After this section here, it's a total of 900 metres. Quite easy, Patrick. So, yeah, generally you want to be very, very relaxed, very composed, and prepare yourself for the first of the 2 big climbs.
Well, I wonder if Ockenthaler was briefed that the drone would be following her. She'll certainly know about it already. And it's become a feature of the biathlon. They pick an early athlete and follow them around as much of the course as they can, and it gives us a really good idea of where you have to work, where the sort of technical sections are, and of course where the fans are, and there are thousands of them out there today. It's a great scene. Well, she's certainly not taking it easy, Mike, on the first lap.
She worked every aspect, worked over the top. She was working on the flat, tucking low and pushing hard. I love the aggressive start she's having.
I think they're always selecting number 5, aren't they?
It feels that way. I thought she'd climbed up, well, here it comes, the first of the steep climbs. It doesn't look much from our position here, but when you're actually pushing up this climb, it is quite brutal. And the British and Army Championships come here next week. First race on the 24th. and they've all seen it on television, and when they actually come to ski up it, they think, oh my word, 10 times harder than it actually looks.
Yeah, and the thing with biathlon is you don't go up a climb once. The least you do it is 3 times. And in the longer races, the 4-shoot races, 5 times up that climb. Here's someone who could win, isn't likely to, but could certainly win because she is the fastest skier on the tour. Although I have to say, Elvira Erberg pretty much matched Lampitz last week.
I would love for Lampitz to hit at least 9 out of 10 today. I would really love that, and of course I think it would be a podium position. She certainly has the skiing parts, as you mentioned, often the fastest ski time.
So that's what your heart's saying. What's your head saying?
My head's saying we're going to see it one day, and maybe today will be the day.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us here in Rupollding, the women's sprint is underway. It's a time trial event, of course, 105 starters in all. We're through to number 12, so we've got a way to go. 30 seconds in between each of the starters. And Selina Grotien, who has a World Cup win, very envious of her living in Mittenwald. Beautiful, beautiful area. Which is what, probably 2 hours 10 from here, not so far, 150k or so. Zuk of Poland.
Zuk, yeah, interesting. I would love to see her back to, well, remember when she won those 2 titles at Junior World Championships way back in 2018, but I think we expected her to be, up to 5 or 6 victories now. It hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and she's got loads of experience, 5 World Championships. She's already done an Olympics, so I don't think the upcoming game will faze her too much as we watch Leah Meyer, first to settle. It's a very solid sounding hit, Mike. Normally you get the chink with a hit. I thought the first one was a miss, but 5 have gone down and Meyer is away just around the 7-minute mark for the first lap.
I thought the process was good. You could feel she was very tense, and you don't want to be tight on the rifle. You have to be as relaxed as you can in the crazy storm of physical and then the pressure of the spectators calling every hit.
Now the temperature just around 2.5 degrees. It's obviously going to get warmer as the day goes on up until about 3:30. Then it will start to drop again. Susan Kulm rattling the targets down. This is quite a quick shoot. Have a look at the total time. Sub 30, I would have thought. Yes, easy. 23.5. And that's a cracking start from the Estonian.
That was a very brave start, wasn't it? Attacking, fearless, totally focused on mission.
Yeah, time for some stats, Mike. We heard Chablot saying that you have to hit 100%. Well, 9 of the last 10 sprints here by the women have been won with the perfect shooting score, and 25 out of the 30 podium positions taken by people who've hit 10 out of 10. That's the sort of pressure on them now. And
those stats are quite amazing, Patrick, but I don't think we would read those same statistics for any of the other World Cup venues this season, and definitely not for the history of the Olympic Games venue.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say definitely not Oberhof.
No, different story there.
Halvarsson about to start. Ochontala for Italy, who we saw on the majority of the course. Now, her work rate did look to be high. 16 seconds to the first shot.
Lucy Anderson very, very fast into the range. For America, she starts well. Quite a long time, though, to the first shot, so pushing hard on the track. She's taking, what, 15, 21 seconds to the first shot. Well, the brief last night from all the coaches would have been, make sure the shots count, but you can feel that Lucy is really, really taking a long time to try and make sure they go down. I think that'll be one of the slowest processes today with respect. That'll be around 40, 44, 45 seconds. In fact, it was 44.6. Oh, you almost felt a different flow there leading into the final. Gentle squeeze on the trigger, but sadly for Paradis, it's a miss.
Well, we're starting to get through the start order. Anna-Karin Heidenberg of Sweden didn't race in the relay. Skottheim was selected along with Lynn Gesplum and comes out alongside Lucy Anderson. I think she may well go past Anderson at some stage, which could help the American. Although, having said that, Mike, you picked out just how quick Anderson skied on that first lap.
Incredibly quick, but then she lost 46 seconds on the range, which was a shame. Hetty Schvaltz has looked very good throughout the season, having come back from becoming a mum and very, very focused. And of course, life changes drastically in that scenario, having to manage that outside of our professional biathlon. Gislova was into the range, 29 seconds off the pace. That's the pace of Lampitz. And a penalty, so a further at least 26 seconds to add to her time as she leaves the range. Well, Lampitz, here she goes, has the lead time of 12.2 seconds into the range, as expected. Just interesting watching her flow through the rifle, or the lack of it, to miss 3. And that's a terrible start, an almost depressing start when you now have to go around the penalty loop 3 times.
I just don't get it, Mike. I fully understand how it takes a long time to get to grips with the standing shooting, but the prone shooting is a different matter.
There's a different energy. For me, the rifle could be set differently. That's my opinion, and you have to make changes. If something isn't working, you have to make changes.
Well, after a very good opening shoot from Leah Meyer, the standard has gone down dramatically. Only 4 athletes clear so far. Grotian is not one of them, but 4 out of 5. 30th last week in Oberhof with 2 misses, so she'll be hoping to get well into the World Cup points. Top 40 all getting World Cup points.
Grosjean, she looked focused, she looked determined prior to the race, and she really needs to bring herself back to where I think she sits, top 10, top 5 in the world, but the form hasn't quite been there yet this season.
Into 4th place after the first shoot. Kulm of Estonia leading the way after her first shoot. It was very impressive indeed. Top 3 have all got the perfect score on the range, and Grosjean, who we've just seen for Germany, is the fastest of those to have missed. This is 1.2 kilometers, and Hetting Valtz into 7th position. Anderson, Johansson in 2 and 3, Grosjean in 4, Gandler of Austria in 5 in that early split, and now Julia Tannheimer.
She will be mentally prepared for the stadium noise, the cheer for each of her hits. She'll be prepared mentally for all of that. She'll be hoping that she hears 10 very loud cheers throughout her performance.
17 is Anna Gandler, and just behind her Susan Kulm, who will no doubt have had some encouraging splits on the way round. She has the fastest time after the first shoot, and has led all the way around this second loop. Anna Gandler, her time coming in, only 10 seconds down on Lampitz, and that puts her into 3rd place. So she's got plenty of time in hand, and 2.5, 3 seconds advantage over Kulm. Kulm with a first miss of the day. This is looking good for Gandler.
Oh, much
Lovely
better.
shooting.
And the ski time's good. There was no hesitation there at 23.2, Patrick. That's going to be one of the faster, not the fastest, but one of the faster shoots today.
Still a while to go before any of the red groups start. Camille Benet started 40, Amy Basurga is 42, and then starting 44, Lou Jean-Monod, the World Cup leader. An early start in the red group for Lou Jean-Monod. Michela Carrara for Italy. Still quite a lot of competition for the remaining 2 slots in the Italian Olympic relay team. It's decision time for the coaches. No more relays before the games start.
Hämäläinen, she's still really learning her trade, but she's very good. She's, and then I put her off. 2 misses now, so 0 prone, 2 standing. That's a real shame.
Yeah, Gandler incidentally has gone out, you may have picked up on that, for Austria with the lead after the first shoot. A 3-second lead over Kulm. Dimitrenko of Ukraine in third. Hämäläinen, who we saw just miss in the stand position, she's standing in 4th after that first shoot. And Heidenberg in for her first shoot.
It's a decent time at 11.1 behind, so that's 4th fastest with 21. Oh, she's bib 21, 20 athletes having come into the range.
Johansson of Norway is just through. Johansson starting number 19, so a minute ahead of Heidenberg. She's in and out. Just checking, yes, she's cleared 5 targets, so good news for the Norwegian. Similar position to the one we see from the Erbergs.
Felt comfortable, didn't it? It felt at ease, no tension, no apparent stressing there. You could feel flow within that process.
Yeah, 11 seconds behind on the way in, and she's gained some time. 5 seconds gain to put the Swede up into 3rd place.
I love it.
It's almost unbelievable that the sound, the noise from the crowd doesn't affect the rounds. It certainly affects the minds of the athletes, and Hettig Wals did brilliantly to contain herself there. Great shooting. She's a little bit off the pace, but up into 4th and the best of the Germans so far.
You know, what we hear from our viewpoint, or from where we sit, it doesn't sound that loud. When you're actually in the stadium, those cheers are so loud you cannot but be influenced by them.
Now, if Hettig Wals gets a loud response, Franziska Preuss will raise the roof if she can clear 5.
Wasn't that fantastic?
Good shooting, but she's still got the stand to come, Mike, and that's where it unravelled in the relay and pushed Germany outside the top positions. They finished in 6th in the end with that penalty loop from Preuss on the stand, and they were, what, over a minute behind the winners, Norway. Lisa Theresa Hauser showed her best form at the start of the season. Won the pursuit up in Östersund after a solid performance in the sprint. Lampett's still the fastest in the over the first kilometre of this race. Schneider of Germany's gone very, very hard. She started number 33, so will be in to shoot shortly. Carrara of Italy's gone hard. This is looking like a 28 to 30 second shoot from Klemencic. A little bit quicker than that.
Just that look over the shoulder. Did I really put them all down? Yes, she did.
Yeah, and Grosjean's gone 5 in the stand, Mike, so the German fans, I think they'll be starting to believe they could so easily have won the women's relay, and they were well positioned in the men's. They finished 3rd in the men's relay yesterday, which delighted the fans, but, you know, one shot either way would have changed. It was so tight.
Tannheimer 12.7 seconds behind Patrick. I thought maybe today, I thought she might be a little closer, but there again, Lampitz is nearly 8 seconds ahead of second place.
Leah Meyer, who was the first to start, just coming in for Switzerland as Tannheimer rattles the targets down. Good shooting from Tannheimer under pressure, and we'll update you on her position as she comes out. Leah Meyer, of course, producing the fastest time so far. That's the target for everyone else. And a 20:10. More often than not, that 20-minute mark is broken. What a difference, Mike, to race in front of an enthusiastic crowd.
Oh, it's just, the atmosphere is incredible, and you know, not just for the Germans are getting the main cheer when the targets are hit, but out on the track, very supportive fans generally for all of the athletes. Gandler is on a good day. She still has the second fastest time after prone shoot, only 0.7 of a second behind Preutz.
Yeah, and she's 9 seconds quicker than anyone in for this second shoot. But, I was just going to say, she needs 5. Can't do that anymore. 4 will still give her a chance of finishing in the top 10 with the ski speed she's had. Looking good. What a shame about that first shot. And you can see the angst on her face. Michaela Carrara, another athlete that's been flying on the tracks. Lou Jean-Monod just starting for France in the yellow and the red bib, indicating that she leads the overall. She leads the sprint standings as well. Michaela Carrara with that one miss that's going to push her, 20 seconds at least off the pace of the best.
Yeah, painful to pick up the penalties. You have to take the pain, go round the penalty loop, 150 metres.
Schneider on her way in for the pro. And I think it was Johansson coming in for Norway. It is Johansson, and Johansson's looked good so far. Slightly hunched position.
Looks quite tight, doesn't it? The right shoulder raised up, that's muscling, but it's the flow is there.
Yeah, the barrel looks relatively steady. Oh, great reflexes on that last shot. The rifle was visibly moving from low to high, but it's gone down. So a miss from Schneider as Italy's Alcantara comes across the line, 23.2 outside. Just the one miss. So with a clear shoot, it would have been a battle between herself and Meyer.
That was a lovely, graceful collapse, wasn't it? Well, it wasn't a collapse. It was a gentle drop towards the snow because the legs couldn't carry her anymore.
Yeah, that was a genuine drop. We see many dramatic ones. Overly dramatic in my book.
There are some, aren't there? I think I was one of them when I was racing.
You never saw Martin Fourcade collapse across the line. He was always trying to pull some trick and get the skis off without even bending down.
That's true. Heidenberg, oh, she's missed the middle shot. Oh, Heidenberg.
Only one athlete out of 15, Mike, has gone clear.
I am so surprised. But, with respect, the first 15, you know, you can argue the least expected to make a top 20 position. Well, saying that, Selina Grosjean would disagree.
Hetik Valts, 5 out of 5 in the prone. And Johansson's time of 13:42. Definitely out of reach now. Well, that is going to put a further 300 metres back at the start of the pursuit on Sunday. Franziska Preuss, one of the early starters in the seeded group. She's only in the B seed group, which is very surprising when you consider she won the overall title last year. But injuries and illness have been a feature of the season, the summer and the season so far. Oh, this is aggressive, positive shooting from Preuss. Lovely result, 24 seconds in hand, and Preuss had a 1.5 second lead over Gandler, a 4-second lead over Johansson coming in, and I don't think there's any doubt that she is going to take the lead as she exits the stadium, and this is going to be a sub-20-minute run, which could well prove to be hard to match.
That is lovely, you know, to have a very bad day 2 days ago with spare rounds, still on the penalty loop then. She's completely, and I thought she would, come back to her best today.
All the good champions, Mike, seem to be able to do that. Follow a bad result by a brilliant one. Selina Grosjean into the finish now, looking for that time. And Myers, she's comfortably inside. And Germany on top of the table for now. Will they get their first win this season? Klemencic for Slovenia needs to shoot better than her teammate Lampitz, who has finished with 6 misses. Anderson of USA, who was skiing well, has got 4 misses.
Have a look at the lower stomach there, 3 breaths in between each shot. She did hesitate for that middle shot slightly. That's probably why it missed.
5 athletes now with a perfect score, with 25 through. So we're sitting on 20% hit rate, or 20%, 100% success rate, which is good. If we finish with over 20 clear shoots, that would be an exceptional day. Bizarrely, Mike, back in 2013, the 3 podium finishers all missed. But we ended the day with 22 clear shoots. Gusner, Domracheva and Makarainen. This is looking good from Tannheimer. Rush number 4, a total break in the rhythm, and it has cost her. It's cost her a crack at the win, Mike. Oh, what a shame.
I really felt she was on for a podium today. What happened? Was that an accidental discharge? You know, she would have had, you take about 80% pressure through the trigger. Did that go by accident at 1.6 seconds? She didn't feel prepared for that shot leaving. Could have cost her certainly a podium.
Lou Germano, who would love to get back to winning ways. I think it's a pretty good start position very early on in the red group. And Lou Germano with that 50-point lead in the World Cup standings. But she produced a 7th and a 10th last week in Oberhof. Let's just follow Anna Gandler into the finish. And Lou Germano, of course, in the prone position for her first shoot. It's a good rhythm, it's a perfect rhythm and the perfect result. 0.8 of a second, Gandler takes the lead for Austria, and that's good news. It's not going to last long because Preuss is halfway around the final loop and comfortably ahead of Gandler at the moment, a 25-second lead over the Austrian. So out goes Germano, back in control. Ocean Michelon. She's just gained a little bit of a lead over Jean Richard, Mike, the other youngster from last year. Those two having an epic battle for the under-23 title. That went the way of Michelon. Johansson into the finish. That's a really good day's work. She's, I think she's benefiting from the fact that Shirkaida is doing so well, Mike.
It's lifting the team, isn't it? Shirkaida digging so deep and bringing something to the table, something magic every day. It definitely inspires the rest of the team.
Jean Richard joins a long list of athletes who've hit 9 out of 10. So ski speed is going to be absolutely vital on the final loop. 48 is Knotten of Norway, who we saw having a wee jig before the start of the race. She looked very, very relaxed. We'll see if that affects her shooting. Ermit's into the finish, not far outside. That's a good run. Goes ahead of Gandler.
That's a lovely performance. World Championships we mentioned there in Estonia for the first time next year. It's inspiring.
Johansson, Ermitz, Gandler, Grosjean, Meyer. Not names that you'll all be familiar with, but Johansson probably the most promising up-and-coming star. Now, Heidenberg of Sweden down in 7th place last time we saw. Knotten, if this is live, I'm not sure it is. Can't have taken her that long to take a position on the range. But that was a quick shoot from Knotten. And just waiting. In fact, she's not split the gun yet. Here we go. She's within 7 seconds. 5.7 the margin. And that puts her into 5th. Gandler, Shavatova, Preutz and Jarmano ahead of her. It is going to be a very, very tight race, Mike. And when it's like that, the time you take in the range is absolutely crucial.
And you know, it is going to be advantage to Jarmano and the likes to be given split times from Preutz. It's a fabulous performance, but slight disadvantage going early.
Now, Preutz was only 6 seconds ahead of Johansson coming in. Oh, my goodness, she's back to form. That is a massive gain. 13 seconds gained on the last loop. And Franziska Preutz might hold off the challenge of one or two others who've taken the lead on her time earlier on in the race. Julie Simon, one of the fastest shots on the tour, along with the Italians Vitozzi and Vera. And I must say, Mike, that final shoot of the women's relay, I think that was the best shooting battle we've ever seen between Vitozzi and Simon.
It was incredible. So much pressure on all of their shoulders, and it was very strange to see Preutz being one of those affected by the pressure, but she turned that around today.
Now, Vitozzi started a minute behind Julie Simon. She's 5th fastest in. And Simon off the pace. I can't see her on the list.
I can't find her either. Where has she gone?
Oh, look at this. Are we going sub-20? We could go sub-20. 1.4, 19.4. And Lisa Vitozzi does it again. I guess, Mike, if you shoot fast often enough, it just becomes normal behaviour. That's extraordinary.
That was abnormal to go sub-20, stop-start and pro. And, you know, there's more routine to get. There's more movements in your positions to get down. And it does take longer than stand shooting.
Well, I'm just wondering. Oh, no, Julie Simon, 31 seconds off the pace coming in. She's either feeling awful or she's had a big fall on the way round.
She didn't look in her best form in the relay. She couldn't give everything on that final lap. And that's when she got passed down into 4th place.
Well, we were talking about how important the shooting was, Mike, the speed of shooting. Vitozzi's gone from 8th up into 1st position with that shoot. And Brézard Boucher, you can see instead of 1.6 in between, she's averaging around 3.2, 3.3. Oh, and a miss, and a miss. So the world champion is unlikely to take the title here in Rupolving this year. Camille Benet, she's been under the radar, Mike. She's still in the top 10 of the World Cup rankings. She doesn't really get into favour when it comes to selecting the relay team, but she's a superstar.
She's got such a strong mindset in terms of focusing in on the shooting. She takes absolute control of that rifle every single time, and I think the selectors leave her out of the relay because she hasn't quite got the fastest ski time.
Yeah, Tannheimer showed so much promise. A miss in the stand really ended her chances of getting a top 3. But into 6th position, it's still a good race. I think the fans at the moment are happy enough. They've got the leader, but now, Mike, Vitozzi has gone through the prone. In terms of the second shoot, Preutz still has the fastest time.
I think that we'll see Vitozzi doing a sub-20 second standing. Not a hard prediction, but it's an incredible set of skills to achieve. Huge surprise from Voigt missing one target.
Yeah, sub-20 in prone is more unusual than a sub-20 in the stand. Here comes Lou Jarmano. second shoot, and she's got a 6-second lead over Franziska Preuss. If this first shot takes more than 13 seconds, then the German might hold on to that lead.
That rifle is so steady.
Lovely, lovely shooting, my goodness. As you say, she looks solid, Mike.
It's there all the time. It's covering the target every time, so she's massively in control of the situation with a steady rifle like that.
Well, what a fascinating race. And Mike, with Preuss an advantage of a disadvantage of 5 seconds. Preuss put in a very, very quick last lap. So this is going to be an indication of how good that was. It's also going to be an indication of whether Jean Monod has risen in form since a slightly disappointing week last week in Oberhof.
She was off her normal pace. I think Jean Monod, the advantage of being given the timings, and she is 4.9 ahead of Preuss.
Yeah, Minkinen 4 seconds up on Jean Monod coming in. Brézard-Boucher with the fastest first lap, and that includes Lampitz, but Brézard-Boucher missing. Down it goes. What's that? 25, 26, 26.7 for Suvi Minkinen.
It's quite a lot to lose, isn't it, from the fastest, which was Vitozzi. But, you know, they're averaging around the best ones exiting the range. 23 to 26 seconds is roughly the safe margin.
Yeah, Vitozzi, Minkinen, Jean Monod. It's a quality leaderboard at the moment. And the best under-23 athlete on the tour about to take her position on the firing point. Maren Schöcke-Eider.
It's fast, Patrick. She's so strong. She's so focused. Only 7 seconds off Brézard-Boucher's time.
Yeah, her teammate Notten missing the first in the stand position. Ten out of 10 today. Absolutely essential in these conditions if you want to win. It's not the quickest. It's not the quickest. 3 seconds. That's going to be high 20s at the best. 30.4 for Schöcke-Eider.
Well, you know, it's the brief, I think, would have been, look, play safe, don't take extreme risk on the range, and she certainly did that. That was a very big, a big safety blanket of time.
Yeah, from 7 behind to 9 behind. I don't know where she's going to make it up, but we saw what she can do on the finish. Can she do it again 48 hours later? We will see. Lou Jean Monod up against Franziska Preutz's time, and she's extended it by 0.2 of a second.
Not
so
much.
it's going the right way for Jean Monod at the moment, and she does have the advantage of knowing exactly what she wants to do. Now, Vitozzi sub 20 seconds. What will Vera do?
Oh, she won't risk that kind of speed. Probably 23 seconds.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think that might even be
22.6.
Well, 22.6.
Yeah, she was a little safer to the first shot, you know, and then once you've got that stability, then you can let them rip. And she's so good at fast shooting as well. What a race. Well, this will be, what, 21 seconds at worst.
Here we go. 5 out of 5. Oh, that's cost her a second and a half. How does she do it? It is sensational, and even the German fans have to enjoy that demonstration of shooting. It's impossible for someone who's never tried it to know just how difficult it is. But just try and describe, you know, how the sort of beginners that you coach, how hard they find it to hit 1, let alone 5.
It's so difficult because it's so difficult even to keep this thing that weighs less than 4 kilos stable. And then when you add your pulse at the high end, end and the stress through the legs and the whole body in stand shooting, it's impossible to understand until you hold a rifle there. The average beginner will only hit 1 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, Elvira Erberg, who's just shot way off the pace. Her sister starting a minute behind her. They seem to be drawing very similar start bibs this year. Benet finishing. Here comes Hannah Erberg, who will need to shoot just a bit quicker than Elvira. Elvira in 11th place, 11.4 behind the leader. Vitozzi with that time of 6:40 for the first shoot. We're definitely going sub-20 today.
Brizat Boucher, another target missed. This is fast from Hannah, and she was, well, what, third fastest into the range.
Yeah, the standard is rising shot by shot. There's only one athlete on the front page of the leaderboard after the first shoot who's missed a shot, and that is Brizat Boucher, and she might well be pushed out. So that's 24 of the leading 25 have hit 5 out of 5. Here comes Jean Monod. We're going to see a new leader. She's only going to take, what, 20 seconds from here at the most. And last time we saw Jean Monod with a lead of 6 seconds over Preutz, and that was at 6.6. Looks as though she's accelerated, so it could be a 7-8 second lead by the time she crosses the line, and those few seconds could be absolutely vital. 19:27 the time she's after. She's comfortably inside that, and Jean Monod goes to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Preutz, and Johansson of Norway pushed down into 3, Benet of France down into 4. Nice shooting from Anna Clive. What's that? Mid-20s, 27.4. Woof. Oh, and she's...
what happened there? She seemed to trip.
I wonder whether she caught one of the pegs. We saw that in Oberhof, Mike.
But that's what I thought.
They'll go and check the mat for sure.
Yes, there was a bolt standing proud. That was in Oberhof. It looked like she caught the ski on something. Often the empty shells aren't enough to bring you down if your ski places on top of them. But
so,
Mike, her dearly.
This is tight. Lisa Vitozzi with a lead of 1 second over Jean Monod coming out. That had switched by the time they went through 6.2. Vitozzi with a second and a half to make up. A similar story to the one we saw in the relay, just fading slightly over the last couple of Ks.
Oh, she's on full punch there. The wall, as it's called there, at least you're going to get 10 seconds breathing recovery, and she really needs that right now.
5 seconds separating the top 3 at 6.2, and this is the sort of finish that we need to see from Lisa Vitozzi. Anna Magnusson very strong yet again. It's been a great season for her, but that one miss in the stand will cost her and may well end up outside the top 10, although the ski time is good. 40 seconds the margin. Jean Monod stays in front with that time of 19:18. This is competitive. It's not over yet. One more for Minkinen. Oh, excellent shooting. Another 10 out of 10. 13.5. Now that's going to be fascinating, Mike. She came in, Minkinen came in 4.8 seconds down on Lou Jean Monod.
It's going to be so tight. Minkinen is just brutally powerful through the rifle. Builds that rock-solid position. Not quite fast enough to take first place.
Yeah, 3 seconds to make up, or a little bit more than that. 4.2 seconds for Minkinen to make up on the race leader Vitozzi. Jean Monod 3.2 seconds ahead of her. Now, Shakaida.
It's
clear
close.
In the prone.
4.4 seconds.
The time is good.
Yeah,
the
excellent.
time is good.
No!
Oh, you just sensed it. There was something different about that fifth shot. The fourth one was so good. Brilliant reflexes. And Shurgard is going to lose ground in the World Cup. She's going to lose ground on the leaderboard today. She came in third position. And I suspect, Mike, with so many athletes now shooting clear, she may well be outside the top 8.
Possibly. She's a real killer on the last lap, though. We saw that in the relay. Can she push that hard? Here comes Vitozzi. I don't think it's good enough for the win. Certainly for a top 3.
Yeah, she's gone from 1.5 to 3 seconds behind. It's a little bit unfortunate for her that Julia Simon didn't catch her earlier, because those two could have worked together as they came into the finish. Simon with a disastrous start. She was outside the top 30 coming into the range for the first shoot, but she's skied well since then. We'll try and update you on her shooting score just when we see them cross the line. Vitozzi misses out on top spot only by a fraction. But Preutz is pushed down into 3. Simon down in 18th. Mike, again, shooting clear, but a minute 5. There has to be a story behind that.
I think that'll be worrying for Simon. I thought that, yes, she served her ban and missed a lot of racing early on. I still think with, 21 days to the Olympics starting, she'll be okay. She can build that speed and the sparkiness in her technique prior to then.
Elvira Erberg. Now this is quick. She's put in a good shift on that second loop, and it keeps her in contention. Erberg 11.5 seconds outside the best coming in. So again, 5 essential. She did it last week in Oberhof. 10 out of 10 to win there. She's got a bit of skiing to do, Mike. It's going to be a 10-second margin at least that she's chasing. I'm not sure she's going to be able to manage that in 2.5K. Here comes Brezard Boucher, 2 penalty loops skied, but the ski time is excellent if you think that the penalty loop at the least takes 25 seconds.
She really has skied her way out of trouble. The first lap she set the fastest time. I think it was the same on the second lap, and probably has the fastest time on the final lap.
Now, can Hannah match Elvira? She's even quicker. Look at that. Look at that. Now, is it too easy here in Rupolving, or do you think it makes for a more exciting race?
It certainly allows us to see incredible, daring shooting. Yeah, to be releasing the first shot at 12 seconds, some athletes less, and then, sub 20 prone position for Vitozzi. We haven't seen that kind of speed before. What a time from Erberg.
Well, I'm struggling to find, the computer hasn't caught up with her performance yet. I think she's in the front. She is. She's gone through 12:31, 9 seconds ahead of Jean Monod. No wonder Jean-Marc Chaplot is happy. He said the Swedes were hoping for a podium. There is a chance they might get 2. The leaderboard at the moment. Jean Monod of France, the World Cup leader, has top spot, but it's now under pressure. Not just from Hannah Erberg, but Suvi Minkinen might have a crack at it as well, although she was 11 seconds down last time we saw, and going the wrong way for Minkinen, so she won't be a threat to Jean Monod. Vitozzi sitting in second, 4.2 behind. Preutz in 3, 9 seconds down on the leading time, and Johansson of Norway still right up there. Anna Clive clearing the prone, but has lost quite a lot of time on that second loop.
She has, and to miss the first. She wants to impress here big time. They've brought her back from the IBU Cup, second division. She certainly did herself a lot of justice in the relay.
2 more misses, she'll be over a minute behind, and that will reflect in the start of the pursuit in 2 days' time. That's disappointing for her, but she did brilliantly in the relay, Mike. Under pressure, held her nerve, shot well.
Yes, she really did. You can see the pain, the annoyance, the misunderstanding almost. Sometimes you feel there that you're in a decent enough stable position to get them, and it looked that way for me. Just mistimed each of the shots.
Well, the 3 chasing the lead time. Suvi Minkinen just coming into the stadium, and as we saw at the last split, she is double digits away from the leading time, so it's really about battling for a top 5. I think for Minkinen, she was in 4th last time we saw, a good margin ahead of Johansson, so I think she's going 4 for now. Yeah, something not quite right. Hannah Erberg. Elvira Erberg winning a week ago in Oberhof. Is it going to be Hannah Erberg's time to get the win? She's extended that lead to 12.6. It was 13 seconds over Jean Monod, Mike, at 5.8. It's looking pretty good for Hannah Erberg.
It's looking fantastic, and I think, you know, Jean-Marc, we saw his celebration, almost the victory celebration on the range, and he knows that she's in such good form that barring a fall, and that isn't likely on this track, that the title will be hers.
Yeah, be interesting to see what Shurkaida's managed to do. 9th place, 35 seconds behind, coming out of the range. If she can cut that to 30 seconds, it's going to be tight. I think she'll be just outside that. Shurkaida chasing Breza Boucher's time. Johansson stays 5. And into 7th place for Shurkaida, 32.5. So she took 2.5 seconds out of the leaders on that last loop. So again, showing her strength over the final stages. Erberg now, Mike, 8.8. So 5 seconds have gone. 5 seconds of that lead eaten away.
Well, yes, Elvira is pushing hard, though. I mean, that's a good push. She started, the first lap was quite slow, but really finding her flow now.
Elvira Erberg will be coming in shortly. She was only... Well, that was the wrong Erberg I was looking at, because Hannah Erberg...
Yeah, Hannah's still up.
I must apologise. Elvira Erberg's got herself to within 8 seconds, which is incredible, having been 18 seconds down.
She's paced it so well. We were questioning her form there on that first lap, and she's dug so deep on this final lap, and it could be, they could maybe both make it onto the podium, the sisters.
Yeah, it's just been corrected, actually, Mike. It's been pushed back to 17 rather than 8.
Okay.
So I think she's going to struggle to make the top 3. Vera with a miss in the stand, 44 seconds. Even with 10 out of 10, it would not have been her day, but there would have been some useful points. Here comes Elvira Erberg. She has stormed this last loop. She came out of the range, down 21.8 off the pace of the leaders, and she will have closed some 14, 15 seconds. Unbelievable work, and puts her into 3rd place. I think she's going to get pushed off the podium by no one other than her sister.
Yep, Hannah is still... Well, they started 1 minute apart. It didn't put them off at all. They both hit the perfect 10 out of 10. What a fantastic time of the season to be coming into your best shape and form. And I doubt they'll be going to Novo Mesto, to the Czechia next week.
Yeah, last 150 for Hannah Erberg and Jean-Marc Chablot looking on. The two sisters battling it out today. They're battling it out in the World Cup placings. Only 1 place between them. And today it is Hannah Erberg's time, 7.5. She left the range 13 clear. Jean Monod obviously putting in a very good shift on that last loop. Fantastic work. Fantastic work.
She's always
loved rivalry.
Yeah, she's always loved this venue, Hannah, from the very first time she raced here. You know, as what, 18-year-old, she was 7th, and she's barely been off the podium since.
Yeah, but she hasn't won here before, whereas her sister won back in 2022. Natalie Santa there, congratulating Jean-Marc Chablot, and Natalie Santa, a former winner here as well. Very, very few people have managed to do the double. In fact, in the last 20 years, Mike, Sandrine Pays is the only one that's won 2 Rupoldig sprints in succession. Neuner has won twice, Shelbride won twice, Forsberg won twice. They are the best there have ever been.
This is a great day for Siri Skor. She's first experience at World Cup racing, and she's coping so incredibly well.
Yeah, I'd had a brief from someone that she wasn't racing, so I've crossed her off my list. But she's definitely there.
She's there. What about that for your first ever outing in terms of World Cup racing? It'll be a memory forever. That's a certainty.
Yeah, can only get worse.
Only 22-year-old as well, so I think the future is very bright.
And ahead of Julie Simon. That will feel good.
Definitely will, and you know they're well experienced with IBU Cup racing, but this is different. The cameras, the spectators, it's the real deal. Just thinking, Patrick, you know, so many of the big names have passed all of the tests today, you know, from Minkinen, Preuss, Elvira, Öberg, Vitozzi, Jomano and Hanna. They've skied well, they've hit all of the targets, and they are the big names, really, aren't they? None of the big names that we were maybe expecting. I suppose Brezat Boucher, but she missed 2 targets. She's 8th.
Well, I must say the track has held out pretty well. The only part of the track, Mike, that's been broken up is the first climb where a lot of the athletes were doing their ski testing. So up and down that section, I guess that's normal. But the rest of the track has held up very, very well. So I don't think too much bias towards those who started early. And fascinating to see, you know, the hit rate in the prone is something like 88% today, which is way higher than normal. And the shooting, the whole process, Mike, sort of 10 seconds quicker from most of them.
It's quite incredible. It's one of the rare ranges where you carry, 55, 60 kilometres an hour down the descent towards the range, you glide out, you just rise a little over a bridge, so you never really get as much recovery as you do on this range, and that's why they can risk getting these rifles off so fast and releasing the first shot in under 12 seconds for some.
Yeah. And another interesting fact, the top 7 have all gone clear, which I've never seen happen here before. The best of those who's missed is Brezat Boucher, and she missed twice, and she's still got herself up into 8th.
That was some ski time. She was even faster than Lampitz on the second lap. In fact, no, that's going to be a happy day for the young Austrian. Not much in terms of outings in World Cup. Maybe, what, our 4th race ever today.
So do you think Brezat Boucher, with that ski speed, has cemented her position in the French team for the Games? Still, you know, 80% hit rate in the range, which is below the rest of the French squad.
It's not a great day in the range for Brezat Boucher, and she took much longer than those around her, the big names at the top. So I think she's got herself a selection. She is, after all, 2nd French athlete today. I think Dorothea Vera, she loves this venue normally. She'll be disappointed down in 17th, missing 1 target, 52 seconds behind.
Well, lots of smiles in the Swedish team, and not surprising really, Hanna Öberg has nailed it today, pushed herself up into top spot, and that's going to be very tight between herself and Elvira. I think they're both, Mike, going to go into the top 5 of the World Cup standings. We'll double check on that.
And what a difference compared to last year. So all of the Swedish team bringing in a writer from Germany who used to work for the German women's team in terms of only the shooting skills. He really has added an extra flavour. So many more new drills that have brought their shooting to a much higher level this season.
If you were to select one shooting coach, who would it be to work with?
I like the way Mazet brings the best out of their performance. He's not a shooter, he's never done shooting in the past, but he understands it and he's read about it, and he gives his athletes a lot of self-confidence, so he's very good at doing that.
But Mazet is going the other way from a lot of the coaches. He's saying take your time. He can afford to do that because the Norwegians ski so fast. Yeah. But the Italians, the Finns, the Swedes are all shooting faster than they've ever done before.
They are, and I think you can risk that on today's races, but we've seen throughout the season they back off when it's a tougher range coming in. Daria Dolidovic, that's okay. She's new, fairly new to biathlon. .92 coming in. Moritz, the Croatian, I think I'm right in saying she's it's her first World Cup outing. I'm just checking entirely. Yes, it's her first ever start for World Cup. She's hit 5 out of 5 prone. If she gets 5 out of 5 stand, total respect for her performance. Score taking quite a wide line around. She's obviously in a hurry, but it's broken up on the inside by the advertising banners there. Oh.
Well, the French have got Jean in second place. She'll be a bit disappointed. Breza Boucher down in 8th, despite missing 2. And Camille Benet, again, another good result from her. She's finished in 10th. Let's have a chat with her.
Camille, let us talk first about your shooting. You shot clean. I think you could be quite happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy. The last week in Oberhof, it was a little bit difficult for me. I'm in Oberhof, but I'm not really here. I don't know why, but today it was really important to shoot clean, and I do that, so I'm really happy about.
And how happy are you about your feeling on the track?
Yeah, it was really good for me. It's better than last week, and I have a good sensation. And on my second loop and on the last loop, I can ski with Justine and also Anna Berg, and it was really interesting.
Well, if she was staying with Justine, I'm assuming it's Justine Breza-Boucher, then she is going very well indeed. And she's got herself into 10th, 42 seconds slower than Hannah Erberg, Mike. How do you rate that in terms of ski speed?
I really do rate it highly because, yes, Hannah's got 7 seconds on Jean Monod and then 11 on Vitozzi, who shot so incredibly fast. I think that's a great news day for Benet, and it is, from what I see from our previous results, it's about the fastest we've seen her ski. At the time, she needs it most to secure the selections. I'm sure she's on the bus to the Olympics, but will she be involved now in the relay, showing a much better ski time because she's always so safe on the range?
Yeah, but they're not going to leave out Julie Simon. I'm still convinced there's a story behind her performance today. She's down in 25th position despite shooting clear. Lost 30 seconds on that first loop. There are your top 8. Won't be any changes now. Shuk Ida just missing out down in 9th with that one miss in the stand. I think it was shot number 5, wasn't it, on the stand shoot that went wild. It was looking very, very good at one stage, but I don't think she would have finished in the top 3, to be honest. Ski speed up the front of the field, very, very impressive.
Yes,
Hannah Erberg, Lou Jean Monod, Lisa Vitozzi, Elvira Erberg, Franziska Preutz, and Sutvi Minkinen, your top 6 today. It's just a phenomenal lineup of athletes.
It's the big names, isn't it? And take the wind away so there's no wind influence, take the long recovery down the descent into the range, and it does allow those athletes on good form to really let those bullets fly fast.
And the only one of the top 10, Mike, that you might not have put in there prior to the race, Johansson of Norway, but she has been getting better and better and shooting brilliantly well. She's gone clear again today. And Benet, who we've just mentioned. But that's really because we didn't see her in Oberhof and thought she'd lost form. But she's come back. She's cemented her position in the top 10 of the World Cup standings. And so those are 2 names to watch out for over the next few weeks. What are we down to, Mike? 23 days before the games start?
Yeah, 22 or 21 actually today.
21.
And I think Michelon will be disappointed. She's in 32nd, missing 2. She's really created herself as a safe player in the relay. Will they include her at the Olympics? Probably.
Yeah, and Hannah Erberg, Mike, getting her 13th win Elvira got her 30th last week, so the battle goes on. And this, I'm convinced this is why they both do so well, because they're so evenly matched. And obviously great mates as well. It's fantastic to see. Let's have a chat with today's winner, Hannah Erberg.
Hannah, congratulations. Your sister won in Oberhof and now you won here. It's Sister Act. Did you already met your sister?
Yeah, I think it's incredible that we keep the winning streak in the family. And the last time in Oberhof in the sprint, I was 1 minute in front of her, and today she was 1 minute in front of me. So maybe that's the one.
Maybe you can be on the podium on Sunday in the pursuit together. Is this the plan?
Yeah, for sure. If I can decide, that's the plan. But we have to do that race as well. And I know that you cannot just put the skis and the rifle out there, but you need to also make a great race. And I think the plan for Sunday will be to do the same as today, to go out, be a little bit relaxed, and then enjoy competing.
Did you see your coach dancing, Jean-Marc?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, you have to see it. Yeah. It's really good to see him. How can you celebrate today? Is it possible to celebrate with your coach, with your sister?
Yeah, I think you will need to enjoy it in the ways you can, and then it's also important to fill up with food and everything, with the good energy for Sunday and the rest of the week. But I think it's like you enjoy it inside.
Tack så mycket. Thank you very much.
So, Hannah Erberg, what I wanted to know, Mike, was whether she gets splits on her sister, because what she was saying is in Oberhof, Elvira started a minute behind her, and today she started a minute behind Elvira. How important was that?
Do you know, I was just thinking when she was talking about it, if your brother or sister's there, in close proximity, it certainly helped them 2 weeks in a row, and swapping around, one starting in front of the other by just 1 minute. I think it would help you, wouldn't it? You feel a connection there more than any other athletes would feel a connection with an athlete 1 minute in front.
Yeah, and there are a couple of places on this course where you would see the athlete who was 1 minute ahead. There's a big dead turn at the end of this climb, so I think they would have been well aware of where they stood relative to their sibling, and that has to be a motivation, if anything is. Still a few to come across the line, 105 on the list, although he had 3 or 4 put out prior to the start of the race. There are still various bugs going around. Anna Gandler did okay for Austria. Mike, I was just trying to see if you'd come across Hauser. I think she had a bad day.
She
46.
Wow, I'm surprised. I expected something much better. She normally feels comfortable here, uses this in the summer as for some of her training, this venue. I'm just looking for any other surprises. The person I was praising maybe most for perfect shooting, Voigt, but she's feeling pressure to make the team. She's down in 45th and she missed 2 targets.
Other athletes that have shot well, number 1, Meyer of Switzerland, did brilliantly to clear the 10 targets. She's held on to a top 20 position, so I think she'll be delighted with that. The best of the Swiss, Amy Berserger, just a few places back in 21st position. Mike Kleutens of Belgium has done it again, 10 out of 10, 21st position. More World Cup points for her.
She's just quite a miracle on the rifle, a little bit like Jean Monod. When Jean Monod's on form, you just feel there she is, so comfortable through the rifle, especially standing, lock solid, and Kleutens is very much like that as well. I think a shout out for Rousseau from Canada. She's 26. That's got to be her best performance. I think I'm right in saying that. It is indeed her previous best, 31st position.
Hello, the Brazil shot well in the stand position, but 2 misses in the prone. Have you got the stats for the shooting speeds, Mike? Interested to know who had the quickest total time for shooting, and I'm assuming it's Lisa Vitozzi.
Spot on, yeah, 39.9. Vera was second at 46 seconds, but to complete your 2 shoots, here she is, you're 2 times in under 40 seconds. That's got to be something of a record.
Yeah, that prone shoot was something special. There's Jean-Marc Chabelot as he watches the Urberg targets fall, and I think he knew at that stage that it was going to be their day. Congratulations to Sweden, Hannah Urberg, her 13th World Cup victory just 3 weeks before the Games. So, Mike, Germany miss out again, and today they have 1 athlete in the flower ceremony. I think they'll be pleased that Franziska Preutz is coming back. She's only 16 seconds off the lead. She lost most of that 16 seconds on the range.
I'm trying to find, she lost a lot of time in the range, actually. She's generally quite a fast shot. I think it was the prone that she was more, she lost most of her time. In fact, 46.2 seconds, she's the 4th fastest.
I think Vitozzi will be a little bit frustrated that she can shoot like that and not win.
11 seconds off the pace. Yeah, she's maybe, you know, and she is building back to have a year away from the sport and go through the serious operation she did. I think she's doing incredibly well, but she does need to find another 15 seconds to be sharp for the Olympics.
Yeah. But a 4-shoot race is a different game. Maybe the pursuit on Sunday will be it. Although, you know, my concern would be that she's losing time on the last loop relative to your Jean Monots and your Urbergs.
Yes, that's good, and that's got to be worrying for the coaching staff as well. You know, so and Vitozzi, she doesn't start too aggressively. You feel that she is going to open up as the race goes on, but she does struggle in the second half of the last lap.
Yeah. But having said that, she only lost 2 seconds to Hannah Urberg on the last leg, so it's not a lot, but it is 2 positions.
Darcy Morton. How did she shoot today? Well, she missed 3 overall, running around 99th position at the moment for the Australian.
Yeah, Shauna Pendry hitting 9 out of 10. For Great Britain, again, losing quite a lot of time on the tracks and unlikely to make the pursuit.
Yes, you had to be pretty good today. 2:15 behind the winner's time to make that important 60th position where you'll start on Sunday. Lampitz won't be starting, Patrick. She missed a total of 6 today. She's in 65th position. Darcy's father, Cameron, used to race, 25, 30 years ago. Got both his son and his daughter into biathlon. They were very good juniors. And I think Darcy will be happy enough with that performance, given the fact that she's been on the penalty loop 3 times. It's a good time. Lydia Mettler. She hasn't had a lot of World Cup outings. 3 penalties you can see there. In fact, just take one of them away and she would have been pressing for a top 60 to guarantee a start on Sunday, but 3 has been too many. Klemina, she's a lawyer by trade, and she'll be disappointed that she's only on a 60% hit rate today. And a lonely race out there as the last to finish in the whole race itself. Job done.
Well, here are the highlights from the race. Lou Jean Monod with an early start in the red group, and she really set the pace, didn't she, Mike? Good battle between herself and Vitozzi at the front of the field.
It was, and with Vitozzi's incredible shooting, I thought that Jean Monod would be going out in second place, but she pressed the fastest time after the first shoot.
Yeah, this was the most impressive shoot of the day, coming up from Lisa Vitozzi. Prone position, sub 20 seconds. Sensational stuff from her, 19.4. Hannah Erberg with a much later start. The only part of the course was the first steep hill that cut up a little, but that didn't seem to slow her down. Jean Monod knew she had to hit 10 out of 10. Extra focus, and no issue. A total shooting time of under 40 seconds. It's incredible. You know, you have to blink just to see it. 20.4, a second slower in the stand, but most of that was lost in the preparation. Jean Monod, good final lap, but Hannah Erberg clear in the prone, and she knew she had to hit 5 to stay in contention. Great work. 7.1 inside for, or outside for Elvira Erberg, but just a minute later, Hannah comes across the line and makes it 2 Erberg wins in 2 weeks.
Congratulations. Of course, you have to talk about your sister act in your team. Hannah won, Elvira is on 4th. I think you are quite satisfied with the race today, aren't you?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. We are really satisfied. It was a great fight and a really tight fight out there. I think... yeah, Hannah did a perfect race today. She felt from start that it's going really good on the track, and she's doing a perfect work at the range. Elvira also is doing really good. The others are shooting a little bit faster, but her skiing, especially in the last loop, was crazy. So we are really happy with that, and especially for me. I mean, I'm from Munich. It's my home place here. It's yeah, it's a special victory for me.
Vielen Dank.
Danke.
Viel Glück für
So Elvira Erberg, Mike, with the fastest last loop, Vitozzi with the fastest shoot, Hannah Erberg with the fastest overall time. What can we give to Jean Monod?
Jean Monod, she's there, isn't she? She's got her magic back. She looked a little off last week with her 7th position, then 10th in the pursuit. And I think what we can give her is that she is absolutely back on the turf, the patch that she normally stands on.
Yeah, and by beating both Minkinen and Shurgaida, she extends her lead at the top of the overall World Cup table. She started today 50 points clear. That should be up to something like 75. We'll give you the details, hopefully, before we go off air. 90 points, of course, to Hannah Erberg. Further down the order, Maren Shurgaida missed that last shot in the stand. That cost her at least 6 places. I think she would have been knocking on the door of the podium had she not missed that. Vera, 9 out of 10 for her. She knows she needs the perfect shooting score if she's going to challenge for the podium. Julie Simon, a little bit of a mystery. We'll find out what happened to her. 1 minute 12 behind, despite hitting 10 out of 10. Can't quite believe it.
I think that is one of the bigger surprises. What happened on the track? Maybe she did have a fall, or I mean, we all have bad days. Maybe she just didn't quite feel the magic. It's hard pushing hard 3 days a week. Maybe it just wasn't there today. I think as a nation, the Germans will be a little disappointed. They wanted more today with Preutz in fifth. That's great news. But then Grotian 15th, Tannheimer 16th. So 3 in the top 20.
Yeah. They're going to be pressed to win the pursuit, so they'll have to look to their men who race the sprint tomorrow and the pursuit on Sunday. I think Philip Norath probably their best chance of getting a win at home. They weren't far away in the relay. They led at halfway, but so many teams had their turn in front, didn't they?
They did. You know, and that is hopeful for the Germans tomorrow, the German men's team, to have survived the pace in the relay. So that's going to give them something. And at the end of the day, 21 athletes did shoot the perfect 10 out of 10 today. And all the men watching this race will know full well they have to shoot fast tomorrow and that they have to get 10 if you want a real chance of a top 10 position. These high levels of performance by being stressed, you know, you have to bring yourself up for the fight so many times.
Yeah, I think she can put it down as a good day's racing. Had she started later, do you think that would have made a difference? She was, what, 24 places, so 12 seconds ahead of Hannah Öberg? 12 minutes ahead of Hannah Öberg.
Yes, I think it would turn things around, to be honest.
Lisa, congratulations. It was a good race for you. You shot clean. You were quite fast. Would you say it was a good race for you today?
I've got a freeze on my pictures. Let's see what she has to say.
I couldn't ask more than this. I do my best, and I'm really happy about my shooting and my skiing. Well, it's getting better, and yeah, I'm satisfied.
What gives you self-confidence currently?
I don't know, but I just want to enjoy every race and do my best and not think about the result. And yeah, it's my mindset, and it works. So I will continue like this.
You're in a good position for Sunday. What is your goal?
Yeah, for sure, it's. I will go for a win, but yeah, I can do it. So I'll do my best, and yeah, I do my best.
All the best for you. Thank you.
Well, if she does get the win, that will be her 10th. Mike, just getting some news from the French team. We did see Julie Simon with a mask on this morning.
We did.
She woke up feeling a little bit sick, had a bad throat. In which case, I'm very, very surprised that she started at all. And I hope it doesn't affect her in coming days. But we will see on Sunday whether she takes her place on the start sheet. She's going to be a minute 12 behind at the start after today. So it's a health thing rather than an incident.
Of course, we did see her with a mask on. I thought she was just being protective, as you know, many athletes are. But I will be amazed if she starts on Sunday having felt something sore throat-wise coming on today. The last thing you want to do is push yourself up into the high level of your pulse rate and physical output.
Yeah. And I think Lisa Vitozzi now has the golden rifle, doesn't she? The hot shot on the tour.
She is. And I like that interview. She did try to dig deep into what makes you shoot, and I'm so pleased that Vitozzi said, hey, all I want to do is don't think about outcomes, just enjoy what I'm doing. And I hope she keeps it in that box. I can only deal with this when I'm on the range. I know how it works. Don't want to think about it. And she needs to protect that.
Yeah, but just like you get a purple patch in terms of skiing or whatever endurance sport you're doing, you get a purple patch with the rifle. Just ask people like Tyrrell Eckhoff. It can be brilliant. Tan Revold, it can be brilliant for a month or 2 months, and then it can all go wrong. I hope for Vitozzi's sake it lasts for another 4 weeks.
Yeah, it can disappear quickly once you have a bad day, but Preutz pulled it back today.
Yeah, and Preutz shot pretty well. She hit 10 out of 10.
It was a good race from you today, but unluckily you had no chance to get on the podium because the others were faster. How hard is it after the race to watch the competitors?
It was not so hard. I mean, my race was quite good. I'm really happy about my clean shooting today. So finally it worked well, and yeah, I was really focused every shot to bring every shot to the target, and yeah, so all in all it was a really good race, but 4 girls were even stronger than me, so nothing to complain about.
Well, that's fair enough, but Mike, her sequence of results, 6, 5, 5, 5. That's not bad. No one would sniff at that.
No, and I love her attitude, you know. She's only 16 seconds off the victory, so she's just happy that the others... I think had she had a later start number, it would have been different because she started so early. All the big names were chasing her. I think she could have brought a little more to the table when you have to, but she didn't know that when she was out there.
What a journey she's been on. Missed the whole of last year. She won the World Cup the previous year. Back injuries, operations, frustration. Boy, has she come back.
It is quite incredible, and she said her frustrations last year, wondering if it was even possible to come back, so it's quite a miracle.
Yeah, and with Jacquemelle in the men's, Italy are going well. Lucian Monod, she stays in yellow and she will stay in red as a result of today's run. That puts her over 600 points, 628 her total score in the World Cup already. And we are just over halfway. That's 11 of 21 races completed. 10 more to go in the season. And today's champion, she's back. The woman who shocked us back in 2018 when she won the Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. 8 years later, she is still on top of the podium.
They have a prize giving later, don't they, in Champions Park? And last night Vitozzi really did drown everybody with the champagne.
Well, Hannah Öberg has gone ahead of her sister in the World Cup rankings, Mike, but they're only separated by a meagre 10 points. 10 points and 1 position between the two of them. Great rivals, great friends, and it's no wonder. And Suvi Minkkinen again into the top 6. Remember, she's second in the World Cup standings, so 45 points for her. And Jean Monod getting an extra 30. So the gap, by my reckoning, is up to 80 points.
Minkkinen, what an incredible journey. In her 200th World Cup race, she wins, and now she's barely outside the top 6. You know, getting better and better with age.
Yeah, 2 podiums, of course, for Minkkinen last week in Oberhof, second on both occasions. Beaten by each of the Öberg sisters. What a race. 3 brilliant races here in Rupollding, and the 15,000 fans that have turned up have been well rewarded in terms of spectacle but they haven't had what they really wanted, a German victory. Maybe tomorrow in the men's sprint.